Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for coming to today's presentation. Today's session is the Fusion Marketing session. I'm Jennifer Bagley, the CEO of CI Web Group, a digital marketing agency based here in Dallas, Texas, as well as Seattle, Washington. Today's agenda is really about a particular area that is very, very important to me personally, and that is gaining clarity. Many of you that have heard me speak in previous engagements know that I have a business coach, Tony Jerry, and he is a coach to the top 500 CEOs in the world. One of his core principles of his strategic acceleration program is clarity, and we spend a lot of time talking about what clarity means to business, what clarity means in business, and what clarity is necessary to run and grow a business. Today's system, the Fusion Marketing System, was designed by my organization, CI Web Group, and myself as well. But today it's really focused on helping businesses put into position and place the things that they need to grow today, as well as prepare for tomorrow and prosper in the future. Everyone's heard me talk about my other presentation, which is converting time to cash. Everyone's heard me say over and over and over again that time is money. And this training is actually going to be focused on a stronger principle, which is knowledge is wealth. Time is money is critical. Converting time to cash is critical. However, without the proper knowledge, unfortunately, most people fail to succeed at converting time to cash. So today we concentrate on knowledge as wealth. The Fusion Marketing System itself is a series of presentations that will help you address sometimes painful realizations that in these incredibly difficult times, but even more in these changing environments. And I mean changes in people, cultures, politics, issues, trust, and technology, the way people communicate. Success in virtually any business, I don't care what business it is going to demand that we listen and adapt, or also it's called change. You know, it's interesting because when my previous background, I was Vice President of Global Supply Chain for multiple organizations and Fortune 100 and 500 companies. And at that point, supply chain wasn't something you could get a degree for, and neither was change management. But change management is actually now something people study and learn and have developed systems and tools for helping people adopt change, for helping people cope with change, for helping people plan change. So I've spent a lot of time studying change management. Some people call it the change monster. And the Fusion Marketing System is designed to help you tackle that change. This session today, it's not about mind-numbing numbers or your technical IQ. We're not talking about the algorithms of Google and search engine optimization or the widespread of social media and the technical components of those. We're really talking about reality today. We're looking at a place in time where cultures, traditions, and technology are colliding. They're changing tenfold. I can go back to examples of radical change from 9/11, from the banking industry's challenges, from the real estate industry's challenges, from the presidential elections and the Wall Street bailouts and so forth. We have to realize that we're dealing with so much change as a culture. There is so much mistrust. There are so many things that we have to take into consideration, the technology advancements of today, how rapidly technology is changing and so forth, that in order for us to be successful, we have to change what we target as far as our businesses and make sure that we are marketing our business towards what customers expect from our products and services today rather than trying to recapture the past. As subject matter experts, we all get so wrapped up in our technical expertise. We get so wrapped up in what we think we know and oftentimes it's old. Businesses must communicate utilizing technology today rather than trying to fight change. I get into some really, really interesting conversations with people about what they're not going to do, what they refuse to do, what they don't see as valuable. Yet the world is changing around them so fast that they don't open their eyes long enough to be able to see that change and recognize they're fighting it and they're going against the grain in a world that's already difficult to operate in. So today I'm very, very happy that everybody has attended this call. We're going to be discussing the fusion of old school principles and new age technology and the change required for each one of us to be successful in today's business. Many of you have heard me talk about thinking and coaching a lot. Your mindset, the place you are in your mind, where you're from, what you're used to, your habits, your routines, your beliefs, all of these things impact your business and your decisions in so many ways. Many of them are great. However, many of us, our thinking destroys our potential for success. Our thinking or lack of experience or lack of knowledge or fear or whatever those things are that keep us from reaching out and trying something new, that keep us from listening. Many people go to workshops and training. It's very interesting, and I've done a lot of polls and seminars, and I've asked people who went to technical trainings. For example, I had a group of 60 people attend a very high-level search engine optimization and search engine training. And at the beginning of the training, I took a survey, and in that survey, the information was astonishing. 60% of the attendees in that room knew that when they walked into that training, they already had preset beliefs about their level of interest and the necessity or lack of the subject matter, search engine optimization. Many of them, from the second that they showed up at that workshop, their thinking caused them to lose this potentially very valuable asset of knowledge. Because when they got there, they weren't listening. Because when they got there, they had preconceived notions, they had their own thoughts, their own agenda, and they actually came to the training not to prove those things wrong, but just to listen for the heck of it to see if anything swayed them. But what they failed to realize was because they didn't show up with an open door, an open mind, they didn't show up with the understanding that, everything I know, everything I thought I know, it really doesn't matter because I don't know what I don't know. It's just that simple. So I'm here to learn. I'm here to soak in information. I'm here to take these bits and bytes of information and process them so that they can help me. You see, we have to listen to constantly to this mass amount of information, and we have to learn to synthesize each bit and byte of information so that we can help ourselves grow, so that we can help our businesses grow, not just today, but we have to be forward thinking. We have to be in a preparation mode for tomorrow and for our future. There are so many people that are in a state of, I'm not sure I want to adopt this yet. Well, I know I need it, but I'm not very technical. Or I'm not ready yet. Or, I'm thinking about it. Or everybody is sitting on the fence. And while you're thinking about whether or not you should adopt technology, whether or not you should bring your website up to the 20th century, whether or not, or bring it from there, whether or not you should adopt these new communication systems and tools, also known as social media. While you're thinking, the world and the technology is changing faster and more with more power and influence than you're ever going to be able to catch up with. Every moment you delay, every day that you wait, it's going to get more and more difficult in order for you to catch up. You've got to get off the fence. So coaching, I am a huge advocate of coaching. I believe in it wholeheartedly. Part of the reason that I do these seminars for people is because this is my own coaching. This is my internet church. This is my accountability church. This is me reiterating over and over and over again what is important and what isn't critical to my business, my thinking, my thought process, my planning, my daily activities. By sharing those with you, by sharing the same goals, the same mission, the same priorities that I have in my own business, it helps not only help you, but it also helps me personally. It's part of my coaching process to share this information with you. I seek advice from the strongest leaders in the world. If you have been further than I have, if you have done more than I have, if you have reached places I have yet to see, I am interested in what you have to tell me. Age doesn't matter. Nothing matters. If you have made it further down the path that I am traveling, I seek advice from you. Those are the individuals in my life. I could rattle off. Tony Jerry is someone I talk about very frequently. Ron Nash is someone I've talked about very frequently. Shireen Hunsinger is someone who I've talked about very frequently. I have a host of some of the most valuable assets of knowledge base in the world that I cling to for information, for coaching, for guidance. And most of all, because I want them to be so honest with me that they challenge every thought, every behavior, everything that I think I know. I need them to drive it to the ground. I need them to be upfront, honest, and I need them to tell me, is it the right path? Am I being lazy? Did I make the right decision? Everything I think I know, I need them to challenge it. I need them to step up to the plate and tell me the truth. I mentally and physically prepare for people that I put on in a coaching environment. Again, to me, there is a very, very clear distinction between listening to everyone and listening to my coaches. I don't listen to everybody. If they don't fit a certain set of criteria for expertise, for where they have been and currently are in their own business, if they are maybe a has-been, maybe it was 20 years ago that they reached this point and today they're on their own. That's not who my coach is. Not for me. I have clearly defined who I want as a coach. They are operating in today's world with today's tools, and they are excelling in all of the areas that I need advice. Identify who that coach is to you and be very firm about who you allow to enter that space. Again, with technology, the media, blogs, information flying at us every which way, cell phones and pagers and text messages and BlackBerry messages and Facebooks and Twitters and LinkedIn requests and so forth. We have millions and millions of things flying at us all day long. And we have to synthesize. We have to gain clarity. We have to be able to say no. We have to be able to put things down. We have to be able to turn things off. And sometimes those things are people. So look for those coaches. Part of that is going to require that you do some research. There are areas that, yes, you can outsource and you can hire the best, but in order for you to even have the ability to choose a vendor, to choose a coach, to choose a partner or a service provider, you're going to have to do some research. You're going to have to gather lots of information. I tell my team all the time, I send my team to lots of training. I don't care if it's a competitor. If it's someone bigger and better than I am, then I care, and I send my team to those. And I always tell them, your job is to sit through these trainings, and your job is to gather this information and slowly process it as you continue to pull all of it together. Keep processing and processing. Don't make decisions quickly. Don't make radical changes in your thought process because of one speaker or one trainer. Your job is to gather all of this information, research it, listen to it. There's a certain amount of knowledge that in the more technical areas you're going to have to just bite the bullet and roll up your sleeves and jump in. The other thing that's very difficult, as we talked about in the beginning, is you're going to have to make a commitment to implementation and change. I know a lot of people that talk a lot. They talk and they talk and they talk, and they have idea after idea, and I hear this constant, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is an idea I have. You know, I'm someone that I have severe ADD. I'm all over the board. If you could jump inside my brain for 2 seconds, you would literally drop to your knees because I have like 19 pinball machines going off in my brain at all times, all day, all the time, and it is painful at times. I have so many ideas, so many thoughts, so many tasks, so many things. A woman in general, their brains operates like a pinball machine. For whatever reason, mine is on steroids, and it takes everything in my power to have clarity, to focus, and to execute or implement daily. Small tasks. A lot of times people work on everything and get nothing completed, nothing done. So you have to every single day make a commitment. And you have to say, what am I going to complete today? What am I going to finish today? And you know what? This American way of saying, I'm so busy, I have so much on my plate, I have so much to do, we cause that ourselves. We're only talking about a few years that cell phones came out. Cell phones have not been here forever. In fact, I remember the first commercial when the cell phone came out, and it was one of the first commercials. It was a mother who was standing in the kitchen, and the child, her daughter came up to her, and she said, Mom, I really want to go to the beach. I want to go to the beach today. And this was actually, you know what, this was in 1997, to put things in perspective. This was the first featured cell phone ad aired on TV, 1997. The mom was standing in the kitchen. The counter was stuffed with papers. She was pushing stuff into her briefcase, and her children came into the room and begged her, Mom, please, can you take me to the beach today? And Mom said, no, honey, I can't today. I've got a meeting with a very important client today. The little girl looked up, pleading at her, and said, Mom, when can I be a client? I think my son said that a few times to myself as well. The child's plea sent an emotional bolt through the mom, and the mom sat for a second and saw this phone, crazy huge phone, sitting on the table. And she looked down at her daughters and she said, You have 5 minutes to get ready for the beach, or I'm going without you. The busyness in our lives, much of it is by choice. It is because we choose not to turn things off. It is because we choose not to prioritize things properly. It is because we choose not to change. The cell phone at one point was looked at as a piece of technology that gained freedom. The freedom to be where you need to be. The cell phone today, it's not freedom. It's the hook that keeps you tied into the world, your business, and everything going on a daily basis. It is the thing that completely ties you down and allows you to make excuses of why you don't have time. It is not difficult to turn it off. It's a small button, but we choose not to. So implementation and change are required at home, with your daily activities, your routines, your family, and your business. So it's very, very important. Business and marketing is a results contest. That's it. In my office, I have a a slogan, kind of everybody, a culture around the office where anyone in the office, they're always looking for people that operate with reasons. In my business, in my office, in my company, internally, I require everybody to look for opportunities to remind somebody results, not reasons. Results, not reasons. I don't care what the excuse is. Results, not reasons. There are activities we can plan better for. We could have left earlier in the morning. I could have got more prepared last night, whatever those things are. Now, part of the foundation that is going to put you on a road to success or put you on a up and down roller coaster or put you on a hamster wheel. And those are kind of the three different paths people typically take with business. You either sit in the hamster wheel and you keep running and running and running, and you never get anywhere because you refuse to step off, make change. You refuse to face fear. You refuse to invest in those necessary requirements that are going to help you operate in today's, or we refuse to listen to what people really want. Or the roller coaster, which is the constant, go hustle some business, go take care of the business. Go hustle some business, go take care of the business. And it's a constant roller coaster. Or it's a roller coaster that is bound to advertising. Spend money on flyers and brochures and campaigns or pay-per-click. When you stop spending money, your business shuts off. The water hose shuts off. Start spending money, the water hose shuts off. Another roller coaster model. Or there is individuals that are very, very few and far between. We are talking an extremely small percentage of people, high achievers, and businesses, again, high achievers that are successful. The percentage is small. I wake up every day with that fear because I think it's a good fear. I know that my likelihood of success is so slim. Wrong decisions are not going to put me in a position to succeed. So this is really what today's session is about, is knowing what you really want and what others really want. And when I say really, I mean really. Truthfully knowing what people want, what's important to them. It's very interesting because our daily lives, the changes in the economy, the changes in the stock market, the changes in real estate, all of the technology, the speed of life in general, all of these things have affected us. And they make us different, and they make us think differently and need different things. And if your products and services don't grow with those needs, if your delivery methods don't grow with those needs, you will be left behind. So today we're really, really going to concentrate. I'm going to give you some examples on how to concentrate on what people really need. Fusion Marketing, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can reach us at twitter.com/FusionMKTG. And this is the fusion of old school traditions and new age technology. Today we're concentrating on clarity. Without clarity, you cannot focus. Without focus, you cannot execute. And without execution, you cannot win. It is such a simple methodology that this is Tony Jerry's strategic acceleration model. Without clarity, you cannot focus. Without focus, you cannot execute. And without execution, that is a no-go. If you are always waiting, planning, thinking, and not acting, that's a no-go. There are many, many individuals, and sometimes I've felt like this. You ever feel like you're always traveling, but you never actually get there? It's this constant journal. We're just constantly traveling. So today we're going to concentrate on knowing what you really want. This is more difficult than most realize to attain. Do you know what you really want? Are there others in your life that can help you find it? Is it attainable? Is it realistic? Are you willing to do what it takes to get it? Are you committed? I often have people come into my office, and I hope I don't offend anyone, but I I have people that come in and they're so excited and they'll tell me about their business and where they're going, and they got a whiteboard and they draw the whole thing out and they make this big plan and they're different, and this is knock them up, bang them, drag down. This is the hottest thing since sliced bread, and I'm excited. I believe in their idea. It is a good idea. I love it. And we sit down and we start talking about what it's going to take to get it done. And the first thing I tell them is, well, you're really going to need to participate. And we're talking about building a website in this situation. And I talk about the first thing that we really need to do is you're going to really need to find out, what do those people really need, what is important to them, what are their questions, what are they looking for, and you're going to write some amazing content that's going to address all of those things. It's going to give them what they need. And I will, 9 times out of 10, have someone lean back in the chair, fold their arms, and go, oh, yeah, but I don't really have, I don't really want to, I don't have a lot of time to put into writing a whole bunch of content and blogging and stuff and going out and figuring what they need now. I was just, that's kind of what I was coming here for you to do. Oh, I never really know how to respond to that. Part of me wants to kind of sit back and just breathe and say, oh no, another one bites the dust. Part of me wants to stand up and go, did you just hear yourself? Can we call your mom and can we have this conversation in front of her? And I want to get her opinion because I feel like I feel like this isn't quite lining up right. And then I have to be professional, unfortunately. So I have to walk through and I have to kind of play a convincing role of, well, it is your business and it is your idea and, your products and services and your client base and your pocketbook at the end of the day and your investment, and I can help you get there. However, you're on another planet if you think that you're not going to have to participate. Or if you think this is going to be easy, you're not going to take any work. Or you can just pop up a website, woohoo, I'm in business, I'm making money. That is the 90% of the world that doesn't make it. Just being real. So you got to know what you want. I've heard lots of situations, someone will come in and they'll say, I want this, 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 and this. And then I'll say, great. And, kind of what's your schedule? What are you putting into it? And they're like, well, I got a couple hours a day. I'm like, all right. So when did you want all that to occur? Oh, within the next 12 months, and then I'm going to quit my job. And I'm trying to calculate the math. I'm trying to think as a business owner who left corporate America at a previously very nice 6-figure salary and have spent the first 3 years of my life, blood, sweat, tears, working 24 hours a day. You heard me get emotional earlier because I neglected the heck out of my son and my family. I did it. It was planned. That's what it took. I dumped every ounce of cash I had possibly in my world into those things that I knew were the required infrastructure in order to be successful. I went to trainings. I got educated. I studied the industry. I studied the market. I studied entrepreneurism. I studied all of the missing components that I didn't have from my executive corporate experience. And then someone said, oh, I want to achieve your success in 12 months with 2-hour time commitment a day and the website. Not so much. So the other thing is knowing what Google really wants. We have 2 people we have to impress. You've heard me. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of time on this. Like I said, this is not a technical training today. Google is an audience that we have to please. You don't have a choice but to start understanding what its expectations of you are. The first thing is transparency. Transparency in content, transparency in your website. Your website is this little communication device that Google sends crawlers out to, and the crawlers have split seconds to make decisions on who you are. Are you an authority? Do other people believe in your site? Are you trustworthy? Does your content show you're an expert? Do your links show you're an expert? And all these things, right? Well, some people I see, actually I met with someone the other day, and he had a website that graded 15 out of 100, and he came to a workshop that I did, and he's went to some other people's workshops as well, and another company has completely convinced him that he needs to be creating calls to action, and they're going to create white paper documents and downloads and special offers. And he just signed a contract with them for $4,000 for this project. And he's going to take all of these really cool $4,000 things, and he's going to lay it on top of a website that can't be read by Google. No. No. I see people invest in the right things at the wrong time all day long. So their investment is no longer an investment. It becomes a liability. It was a wasted expense, a missed opportunity, a lost opportunity. If you have a site that is not transparent to Google, if you have a site that has no traffic, spending mass amount of hours designing and making it look pretty and coming up with pretty buttons and doing all these things that make it look gorgeous is whoever is not telling you that that's 100% wrong is just trying to take your money. They are not good advisors. I turn deals down every single day because people come and they'll say, oh, I want this gorgeous design and I want it to look pretty and I'm willing to spend $6,000 on design and I want it to pop. I'm like, great, what are you going to do about content? Oh, I don't really have any. We're just going to put some pictures up. We're good. Right now you don't have any traffic. How do you expect to get traffic? I was like, oh, yeah, I have traffic. Well, your traffic rank is 0. No, I have traffic, really. I mean, my phone has rang from that site. Yes, it has. It has. I want this design. I can see it. I think about it. I dream about it at night. If you don't have any traffic, I don't think this is a very good fit. It's not clicking. I can't design this stuff for you and no one's going to see it. I just thought, you might be not sleeping at night because you're excited. I won't sleep at night because I did the wrong thing. So transparency, publishing, are you an authority? Do you have the right infrastructure? Do you have the right coaching? I see people, and I hate to kind of laugh about it, but it makes me crazy that buy website and website after website after website, and they keep buying a new site hoping things are going to get better, but they keep buying them from people they never did the research on. They don't know if their sites perform. They're not willing to commit to content. They're not doing anything different than they did the first time they spent X number of dollars on something that didn't work. And then they did it again. Or they're still buying it from the guy building websites in his garage. They still aren't including all the necessary things. They're so interested in a cheap price that they wind up, again, over a 10-year period, they wind up spending more than somebody who saved and bought one perfectly put-together site. Because they bought 10 for less money each time they did save. I would rather save the money, get on a payment plan, and buy something that's going to work. So these decisions, these are no-goes. All right, the next one, which is where we're going to concentrate today, knowing what people really want and how your products or services are going to help them get it. Do you really know what people want? How do you know? Are you sure? Did you ask them? Did someone else ask them for you so that they actually tell them the truth? You know that the majority of polls are dead wrong? You have to get somebody that has nothing to do with your, well, actually, you know, back up. Think about Americans in general. We know McDonald's is bad for us, but we rationalize why we're going to eat it or give it to our children, and then we feel guilty later. We know that pollution is bad, but we had to buy the SUV, and we convinced ourselves that safety was more important for our family today. We know that we need to work out, but we rationalize why we're not going to. Americans are very, very interesting. we are very interesting. So unfortunately, What people want is not just laying on top of their face and readily available for you to know. And the worst thing is us as subject matter experts, we totally mess it up. We 100% don't get it right because we think people are interested in what we have to say. We think people are interested in SEO. When my IT guys start talking, the entire room clouds over, glaze, and they are so excited to talk to somebody other than a computer screen. They're there. They're excited. You can see them. They're coming out of their, they're out of their skin, and everybody's like, yeah, not so much, because they don't know how to relate to people and what's important to them. Let me give you some examples. Las Vegas wins again. Las Vegas is so interesting. They had a period of time when what was important to people, the reason they win constantly is because they know what their customers want better than their customers know themselves. They know what they really want. So Las Vegas had a period of time where it was 100% concentrated on the family travel environment. You couldn't go to any hotel without them having a SpongeBob SquarePants show or a roller coaster or a kid-friendly environment and so forth. There were hotels specifically created that were just designed to target children and so forth. And they nailed it, right? Well, over time, that became not as important. And before, when the economy started shifting, Vegas came out with the most well-known tagline in history: what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And that tagline was designed to give people an escape, a place where adults could be adults with no repercussions. It was a place for you to let loose and get rid of all the stress and anxiety that comes with your everyday lives and so forth. That slogan is more well-known than any slogan ever has been in the world. It was absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But they knew what customers needed right then. If they continued to go, imagine if they continued to think that the family travel experience was what customers needed, and they continued to go down there and they're building more roller coasters and they're building more shows and 3D experiences and all of these things, they would have lost even worse. They knew that because of the stress of the economy, because of the stress of the American people were having to go through, they needed to give them an outlet, and it needed to be edgy, tongue-in-cheek, needed to stand out, be bold, and it needed to give them a place where they could go and anything's possible. And it stays in Vegas. No worries. I know you're stressed. You can come here and hang out. Okay? The next one. Hotels are interesting. I love following and trying to figure out, what their thought process is. And they are constantly, there's a couple of them that are constantly seeking to find out what people really want. The CEO of the Wynn Group, Stephen, and the CEO of Starwood Hotels, these two gentlemen, brilliant. Stephen spends time with every single client. He brings in some of the best pollsters in the planet. He's doing survey after survey, and he's trying to figure out what do people want, what is important to them. Really, is it the entertainment? Is it the food? Is it the dining experience? What is it? And when this man learned and really listened to people say, I love this, and I love this, and I love this, and they're talking about all these other things. And then he heard their inflection in their voice change, and he heard their mood change when they said, I just wish that it was like sleeping in my own bed. That's the only thing. So the average person would have took that they needed more luxurious shows, or the average person would have took that they need more exhibits or better restaurants or better bars or live music, and he heard the one thing that was emotionally charged. It was the last statement people said when they said, oh, I love all this stuff, but man, I just wish it was like sleeping in my home bed. So with that, he created the heavenly bed, and profits soared, absolutely soared. It was amazing. The CEO of Starwood Hotels has the same thought process. The CEO of Starwood Hotels with the bed. Stephen's process was the pillows, and actually he had 30 boxes of pillows shipped to his home in Las Vegas, and he tried each one of the pillows for weeks to figure out, was it soft, or he called it fluffiness, the fluffiness of it, how long did it last, did he sleep better, and all of these other things. And his claim to success is the pillow. And he believes that out of all of the things that he's invested in, and if you've ever been to the Wynn Hotel in Vegas, I mean, it is, the mosaic work is amazing. It's been written up in so many different articles. It's incredible. But he really believes that he got down to the nuts and bolts of what people really want. And you don't have to question it or anything because it showed in the numbers. I want to be an astronaut. Our poor aeronautical industry or aerospace programs, you know, there was a time when every child wanted to be an astronaut. It was one of the number one I want to be's when I grow up there ever was. The challenge is that they concentrated on the fact that they were the inventors of the MRI software. They were the inventors of the microchip. There were these things that they concentrated on. And unfortunately, today's people can't attach themselves to those. You know, when we were kids and we knew the names of the astronauts and we named our children after the astronauts and all of these things, it was an amazing time. But the aeronautical industry and the aerospace program, they lost touch with the American people. They didn't change. They didn't continue that search of love and connection with the American people, and they really lost out, and it's severely affected their program, obviously, as we all know. But realizing how people connect to brands today, how people communicate today, what people fall in love with, what's important to them, what stresses them out, and so forth, it is exceptionally difficult in some ways, but it is so critical that there is absolutely no excuse why anyone in their business should not be taking the time to find out what people really want. And these are my little, if you just Google willful ignorance, it was kind of funny what came up when you clicked on images. Actually, I was kind of laughing about it. I chose these two slides, willful ignorance. When did ignorance become a point of view? That's a lovely Dilbert one. And I like the other one, is it right to remain ignorant? I don't know, but I refuse to find out. This was quite entertaining to me. I put these in here because I was really surprised by one of the presentations that was done by the CEO of GM. You know, the three big auto execs really kind of misunderstood America and on many different levels, and we know that the repercussions of that. These small mistakes led to huge losses. The CEO of GM was standing up and he was doing addressing the kind of a State of the Union type presentation. And he stood up in front of this group of individuals and he said, GM is back. And he was so excited because he saw that in the last report that every single in the category of young people, they gave the GM vehicles the highest rating of any group. However, he didn't acknowledge the data that was right below it, which even though that data was right there, he just chose to completely ignore it. The data that was on that particular report, I looked at it, every young person in that group, that category he was referencing when he said GM is back, they gave every automotive company a high rating. Like they played connect the dots and just filled it down one side. And that, the new drivers, though, ranked GM as the bottom compared to every other car company. But when he stood up and he did that presentation and he said GM is back, young people gave their vehicles the highest rating of any age group. They gave all of them the highest rating. So often we use a bit or a byte of information that is dead wrong in order to justify something. And in this situation, I mean, I didn't know any other word other than idiot to sit and scratch onto a tablet. There were cries and cries, public outcries for more fuel-efficient vehicles. They ignored it. And then Toyota, right? In 1997, Toyota launched the Prius hybrid. And then they launched it worldwide in 2001. Detroit scoffed, of course, and they talked a whole bunch. And basically they said that Americans wouldn't buy hybrids because they didn't have the kick of traditional cars. And we know they were wrong, horribly wrong. Toyota, on the other hand, knew that the days of cheap gas were numbered, and they did something about it. That smart, forward-thinking strategy paid off. As soon as gas prices hit $4 a gallon in 2008, and we know what happened with SUV sales, they took complete nosedives. In fact, for the Prius, that particular car, you had to put your name on a waiting list in order to even be able to attempt to purchase it. I'd love to be able to tell you that for every horror story, there's a success story that quantifies the value of knowing what Americans really want, but unfortunately that's not really true. There's many more business failures than there are success stories, which is why it's so critical to know what people want and to deliver it to them. Now, for a second, we're going to talk about beliefs as we get towards the end of our presentation. Without change, we have to be careful of these things. We have to watch out for making decisions daily on that information. We cannot ignore what's going on with our world, our society, and with technology. I hear people on a regular basis come into a workshop and they'll say, well, I know all of the corporations are using social media, and I know every major news station is using social media as a communication vehicle, and I know that the majority of the world checks their Facebook before they check their email account, and I know that Facebook has more traffic in the world than Google, but it's not right for my business. Please be careful. A lot of times people's decisions regarding social media, if you ever hear someone saying, well, all people do on there is talk about what they had for breakfast, and I don't care about that. Or there's major privacy issues. Or it's not for business. Or that's for kids. Or I don't have time for that crap. I'm in business. I'm dealing with real business. Please go back and listen to, I think it's either ciwebgroup.com/agenda1 or ciwebgroup.com/agenda2. One of those sessions, we talked about what social media is. And if you fall in any of those areas, very, very quickly get out of that belief. It is a lack of experience. It is not having used it properly, not having used it at all, not being shown how to use it. Those communication vehicles and the people in your network and the information that is being displayed is your culture, and I shouldn't go into it. So you need to go listen to one of the other more technical sessions that we've done in the past, and those two I think are good ones for you. The other is if we don't understand how people think, then we won't understand our future. We have to very, very, very quickly get out of the past. I'll tell you, it's a struggle for me sometimes because when I'm having conversations with individuals and they're saying, well, I'm not going to use that, or I don't know if I want to update my website. I know my son built it 19 years ago, but it's fine for me. It works fine. My phone rings, and I know it doesn't. I actually had a business, individual very, very recently explained to me that they had 19,000 hits on their website and how powerful that website was. And they completely tried to convince me that this website had really done well and that they were just trying to make some small modifications. That's all. Yep. The website was not ranked on Alexa. I was able to pull up the inbound links. There were 2 and had no traffic. So, yeah. the not understanding how people think. A lot of times we base our decisions on what we know. Our beliefs can often hurt us. I mean, they can really put us in the wrong frame of mind. That's why I try and listen to my son, my 12-year-old son. He makes me crazy. He talks more than I do. Can you believe it? It makes me crazy, but I try and listen to him because I have to plan for that. He's my future. The way he thinks, the tools he uses, the way that him and his little friends operate. They are smart. Oh, Lord, they're smart. We did not have I can't even compare him growing up to me. I don't have it. I don't understand all this stuff. I walk in the living room and my son's talking to a television. I'm like, why are you talking to the TV? Like, oh, gosh, Mom, it's Microsoft Live. We're having a party online. How many people are you talking to? Oh, there's 22 of us. Who is it? It's my math class. I'm trying to figure it out. So when I have people that are when I'm talking and someone's not ready to get into what actually today is the past, you having a dynamic website, an integrated blog, blogging, and a social media presence is old news today. There are things that I don't go over in our sessions because they would scare the bejesus out of the people that would attend. Right now, I am not, with many of the sessions that we do, I'm not giving anyone forward-thinking advice. I'm not training them on the future. I'm training you on the past. I am trying to help people catch up right now. So we gotta move a little quicker. So much of what was just isn't anymore. I mean, we all know that. If we continue making decisions based on that information, we already know how that turns out. So we have to be very careful. Today might sound like a negative presentation, actually, and I'm listening. I hear it. Some people take things as negative. To me, these are reality checks. I need reality checks every single day. Every day I need a reality check, and I have people in my life that I position to be that reality check. It's their job. My business partner, William Preston, Kathy Marshall, Tony, Kevin, Rose, I have people in my life, their job is to keep me on my toes. Their job is to challenge my thinking. Their job is to make sure I'm concentrating on high-level activities. It's our job jointly to demand each other to improve. It's our job to demand each other communicate better. It's our job to demand each other to stick through the hard stuff and eliminate waste and say no to things that are not good for us and say no to time wasters. That's what today is about. It's a reality check. I need it. Day before yesterday, I lost 2 hours. Oh, no, almost 3 hours because of waste, pure waste. And I sat yesterday and I thought, oh, I can't get those hours back. I can't even figure out how to get those hours back. I'm going to be up till 3 in the morning. I needed those hours. And I had 2 people mention to me, Jen, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Just leave it alone. And I ignored both of them. And I lost 3 hours because I ignored both of them. I can't let that happen. We can't let that happen. But we are interesting people, no different than not going to the gym and saying we're going to and making excuses why we can't. We're just interesting. We need this. I need it. Our belief window impacts our results. We've talked about this. Our perception of who we are, what we think, how we behave, it's determined by so many things. It's where you grew up, how you grew up. It's your current socioeconomic status. It's your experience. It's your access to the outside world. Trust me, if you talk to somebody in New York about McDonald's and you talk to somebody in Dubuque, Iowa about McDonald's, McDonald's is McDonald's, but those 2 people feel very differently about it. Those 2 people. One, New York McDonald's, if you didn't know, they are the only one that can turn it into a luxury establishment with less service and longer wait times. So there is, and it's different. I come from Seattle. I know that my environment in Seattle has major impacts on the way that I think. I also spent 8 years traveling about 2 weeks out of every month, every major city in the United States, and it was such an amazing time of my life. I learning the different cultures and the way people think and the way that they operate and the speed at which they operate. And don't get caught in your own little world and your upbringing and your goals for your church and your neighborhood and your home in business, because the way the world thinks varies so much. We're not talking about a melting pot. We are a vegetable stew, and everyone is so diverse and so unique and thinks so differently. Don't ever let your own belief window, your own belief system, your own neighborhood make your business decisions for you, unless you only plan on selling to your family, your neighborhood, the school you went to, and the church you go to. So be very, very, very careful with that belief window. I have to constantly do that because things are a little lighter in Seattle. We kind of have everything goes there. It's a little different. The other thing is action. I talked earlier about execution. With no execution, that's it. So what's next? Get to work. Get to work. That's what I can tell you. People are, that's a typo. People are so good at supporting bold actions for the greater good. But their actual record of personal participation and self-sacrifice is spotty at best. We know we shouldn't eat McDonald's, but we do. We know we should be healthy and go to the gym and be active, but we don't. Like I said earlier, we know we know all these great things. That's great. However, we have to wake up and realize and know our personal participation and, more importantly, our self-sacrifice, what we're willing to put in time, money, energy, resources, dedication, commitment. We have issues. I know I have issues. Mine is mainly with the gym. But we have issues. Everybody has issues in their own area, but we have to be really to roll up our sleeves and get to work. The other thing is, like I talked about earlier, reasons, not results. Figure out how to get it done, not why you can't. Give you an example. I have heard a million times, I don't have time to write blog posts. I don't have time to write content. I don't have time to give presentations or do speaking engagements. Well, I personally know, like many, that busy schedules, Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. until 10 p.m. are absolutely crazy. I also know that people are spending a huge amount of time on the wrong things. So there are things in your business. If you're in one hand saying, I need more business, I need to make more money, and then on the other hand you're saying, I don't have time to go actually do the things that are going to make me more money, that is a lie. You're lying to yourself. You are not telling yourself the truth, because it's all related. If you don't have enough money, you don't have enough business. So you have to concentrate and dedicate time on those high-leverage activities that are going to create business, which will create money. The only time you're ever going to have not enough time to market your business is when you have so much business that you have enough money to pay someone else to do it. It's all relative. There's no snowballing. I'm a mom. I can see through it. I have to check myself on it sometimes. I don't have enough time is a lie. It just means that you haven't taken the time to eliminate the waste, reprioritize, get clarity in what you want and what it's going to take to get there, and then go do it. And then go do it. Or you're not willing to change. So reasons. Goodbye. Utilize technology to bend time. Most of you don't know, but we planned this seminar a month ago. Right now you think I'm talking to you and it's live and we're here and we're having a good time. Actually, right now, you guys are attending this on, I think this one you're attending on February 25th. I'm actually at another engagement. I'm not here right now. So I know that sounds odd. However, I am utilizing technology to bend time. I could have told the other event that I didn't have time. or I can be smart, get rid of the reasons, figure out how to get it done, concentrate on the results. The result is I had to be here for you today on, what is your today? Your today is 2/25 at noon. I had to be here for you right now. But I also need to be on the other side of town for another engagement. This is what I mean about results, not reasons. Concentrate on how to get it done, not why you can't. You don't have enough excuses, you can't. Concentrate. So kind of on the same thing. Attach to those people who remind you to focus. I would say that if you're ADD, this is necessary, but our lovely Americans are all ADD today. That's the way we live, because all these little technology devices are beeping at us and screaming at us and throwing reminder messages and instant messages or interrupting every moment, and we have all of these distractions that absolutely keep you from being focused every day, all day. Find those people on your team who are willing to commit to helping you stay focused. It's no different than, I had a conversation with Kathy the other day. I was like, you know what, the bottom line is, I don't know what the right answer is to get my tail into a gym. I don't know what it is. I can't say that, well, if I did it in the morning, that would work, because if it worked, I'd be there. I can't say that, well, if I did it after my son went to bed, I'd be there. Or if I didn't have so many speaking engagements in the evenings that I'd be able to do it. I can't say any of those. But the one thing I can say is I can't do it by myself. I know that. I can't do it by myself. I know that I can't run this business by myself. I know that I have to surround myself with people who are better than I am. I know I have to surround myself with people who remind me to focus every day, who look at me and say, Jen, I know Joe Blow said, oh, you guys should do this, or your website needs to do this, or it's to this. Your answer needs to be, yep, yeah, I got that. I have 8 other things that I'm focusing on, or 2 other things I'm focusing on. When those are complete, I'll come back and reprioritize all these other things. Yes, I should do that. Yes, I know that's important. Yes, I know that should be on my list, but not today. But not today. Get somebody to help you focus, because, man, it's hard. Prioritize properly, and haste makes waste. We actually, our company, I've been studying this industry for so long, website design and development and entrepreneurship. I'm not a web designer. I'm a business strategist. That's who I am. It's funny because I get introduced all the time as the social media expert. I'm like, I'll never set up a Facebook account. I'm not a social media expert at all. I don't even know how to create a hashtag in Twitter. I am a business strategist. I know how to leverage Twitter to maximize profits. I know how to integrate Facebook to maximize profits, and so forth. Get people to help you prioritize properly. Let me give you the biggest example, and you have some other trainings, and you'll be able to see those. People build websites completely upside down, and I am about 90 days from fixing that. I'm so excited. We are going to fix the completely broken industry of web design. We are going to knock this out of the park. I'm so excited about this. It's going to be new. I don't believe it's ever been done this way before. I haven't been able to find it anyway. We are going to force people to be successful. At least those people who agree to take on that challenge. We'll still have the old lazy way available for those who don't want to. However, we're going to have a program that people are going to be able to enroll into that will force them to be successful online. And I'm not judge. It is a radical change in the way that people do things. But for example, 99% of the world, when they're building a website, first thing they do is start design. I'm guilty of it. I have clients, we just let them do it because that's what they want to do. What are they going to look like? I want it to look like oranges. I want it to sparkle. I want blue, and can you make the line darker? Yeah, that's totally backwards. If we were going to do this right, we were going to prioritize it properly, we would make you figure out what people want first. We would assist you in creating the right content for your site. and learning how to utilize your content management system before you even start web design. The pretty PSD graphic file that lays over the top of the site. Pretty soon, we will have a program that anybody who believes they have a strong heart and a will to succeed is going to be able to go through that program. We'll even be able to get them started at no cost and get them going. But we have to have successful people. We have to see people make it. We have got to change the numbers. I mean, we're looking on the Internet. We're talking about out of trillions of web pages online, we're talking about 100,000 to 300,000 that actually are doing well. That's the reality. Out of billions, 300,000, the top 3%, and that's even pushing it. I mean, it's the top 1%, but the top 3% is doing okay to great. That is not very many. It is a really bad number. So the other thing is anyway, that's coming. The other thing is get out of overwhelm. Breathe. Do yoga. Have a date with a Merlot bottle. I don't know. Get out of overwhelm. There's so much going on. Just calm down, breathe, and walk into it and say, you know what, this is not easy. I know it's not easy, so what? I'm in it. I got it. It's cool. The other thing is slow down and calm down again. One thought, one page. One thought, one website. One task, one day. Complete things. Choose to move forward and commit to doing what it takes to get results. Watch yourself. Make sure you're not one of those people that comes in and says, I want the world, but when somebody says, all right, when we going to get started, you're like, no, not today. Who, me? What? What do you mean I got to participate? So be careful about that. The prioritization area, the things I can try and help you concentrate on, and we'll have a session on this, is ask for help. Get someone else to look at it from a third-party perspective and let them tell you. Make sure you're talking to the right people. Now we have to go back to coaches. Are they a subject matter expertise in that area? If you came to me and you're like, Jen, I want to know what should I do? I'm looking at all the HR stuff in my company, and I want to know, should I concentrate on getting the legal stuff done first, or should I concentrate on writing employee handbooks, or should I concentrate on getting benefits? I'm going to tell you I'm not the right person. I've been through all that. I hate all of it. I know how it is for business to have to prioritize all that, but you should not be talking to me. You should call my friends here at AdminiStaff. You ask the right people. And most people, because by human nature, we love to have people come to us for advice. Most people are willing to give you advice whether they have been there and done it or not. Most people, if you were to go to your brokest uncle in your family and you were to sit down and say, Uncle Tom, well, I need some help. I don't know. I mean, I needed somebody to talk to about money, how to make it, how to save it, how to invest it. Uncle Tom, what do I do? Uncle Tom's like, well, Jennifer, sit down now. We're going to have a conversation. Let me tell you. Been around the block a few times, made some mistakes, but I can help you do things right. I know I haven't been that successful, and I know I haven't made lots of money, and I know it doesn't look like I really have made the right decisions, but because I'm broke, and because I've been down the wrong path, and because I'm not great with money, that's why I'm going to be able to tell you what to do with yours. And we're like, okay, please help me. Yeah, you've made some big mistakes. Tell me what not to do. Oh. I see business owners, they'll sit down with the business coach, and they're like, oh, I found this person, they're a business coach, and they're great. They used to run businesses, and like 20 years ago, they owned 5. And now, they work from home, and it's a business coach, and, I signed up for this program and everything, and I just want to look and go, do you find that their business advice is current? They're experienced. I meant current, because, cell phones really, came out in 1997. Those kind of around the same time that we just, invented the Internet. Ooh, be careful who you ask. Ask for help, but be careful who you ask. Document your current benchmarks, your KPIs. Where are you? If you don't know where you are today, you don't know where you're going to go. Make it numbers driven. So yesterday somebody, they said, oh, I'm number one on Google if you put in blank, 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 and it was 4 words, right? And so I went and I looked and I was like, yeah, you are, absolutely. That's rock on. I don't understand why you don't have any traffic. And so I go look and I'm like, well, you are number one, but nobody searches for that. And you don't have any traffic. But you're okay, all right, just to each his own. So document where you are. Let somebody else give you some assistance. Know what your goals are. Focus on high leverage activities. Get one thing done at a time. Today, I am going to complete this. Eliminate reasons. Why not? The Fusion Marketing System, we're going to have some upcoming sessions. We've covered a tremendous amount of information today. I am wrapping up this presentation for today. I hope that you come back. As I've mentioned in the past, we have a significant amount of training and education programs. Some of them are more technical, some of them are more basic, some are more advanced, some are purely like today is, which I said today was supposed to be a reality check. This presentation will be made available, and where you're going to be able to get it is going to be ciwebgroup.com/fusion. In addition, for everybody that has attended today's session, we are providing everyone with a 1-hour custom web page assessment and or consultation with one of our inbound marketing specialists. And I hope that you take advantage of this and come to that session. Really, really open. And my team is so nice. They are so smart and they are so nice, and they really are interested in giving you great advice. They're not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. Their job, everyone in our company, they know and they've been trained. This stuff is complicated. It's complicated, it's confusing. When my programmers start talking, I'm confused. I ask them to slow down because they're giving me a headache on a regular basis. All this technical stuff and social media and SEO and all this stuff that we don't have a choice but to implement is a real pain. But like I said, these sessions are actually training you to catch up on the past, and some of them will be future and forward thinking, but what we've realized from our polls and our surveys is the majority of people right now are just simply trying to catch up to today. They're not most. There are some, it's a much smaller percentage, that are more forward thinking, and they're figuring out how to integrate their social media apps with their Facebook apps, with their iPhone apps, with the databases on their website. They're doing complete integration between all of them. They understand that the population requires a connectivity point that is a central connectivity through all of those different communication mediums and vehicles and so forth. Again, it's too much. It's too much. So let's just play catch up. Register today at ciwebgroup.com/fusion for the consultation. It's complimentary. No pressure to do anything other than participate and listen and get some guidance from some people who are their expertise is great. I love attending those, so anytime I see one on the calendar and I have the time to, sometimes I may even pop in and jump in and join you on those sessions or those calls. So if I do, say hello, and look forward to learning more about your business. Like I said, every week we do these types of workshops. So if you find this as something that is beneficial to your business, then please register at ciworkshops.com, and you'll get a notification of upcoming training schedules. We have 4 primary categories that we do training. Every training is a little bit different, but those are the primary 4 categories that we cover, so don't miss one. And please feel free to invite people in your network that you know would benefit from the session as well. Again, thank you so much for participating today. I know this is a little different than my normal style, so hopefully it's helpful for you and your business. I know this session was helpful for me, and I can't wait to hear more about you and your success in implementing everything. Thanks again for coming.
Thank you. Please stand by.